Eating Soup Alone is a podcast hosted by me, Christopher Crumley, and co-hosted by Nicholas Johnson. We try our best to ramble incoherently about a handful of movies at least once a week. Okay, this is the last time we're raising hell. Gotta say, not as excited as I once was to raise hell.
Yeah.
Another question. Well, I guess not another question, but a question. You chose Hellraiser.
Okay.
Remember, you've done this to us.
I did not, but okay.
Yes, you did.
I do not remember.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I wanted to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you were like, I'm really interested in Hellraiser. I was like, hey, we can watch Hellraiser. It's like the first one.
Well, hey, Chris, from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry.
But how do you feel on the other side of it now? You have consumed all of it. We'll get to the last three. Revelations, Judgment, and the 2022 Hulu exclusive.
Yeah, I love doing these every year.
Yeah.
I think it is, like...
the highlight.
It's the highlight. I love... I mean, just so much about it. I like being able to, like, have these, like... experience all these, like, cultural touchstones that are horror movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s to today. Yeah. And, you know, being able to be on the inside jokes on all of them. And sure. I think it's a nice thing to have with my good friend Chris, as we both experience these things together. And it's something that you and I frequently, I'd say 75% of our conversations are about these movies. And I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And 20 minutes into Hellraiser Revelations, I wish we'd never done any of this. Yeah. So.
Heard.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a series of films that I have consistently heard referred to as, like, some of the worst.
Yeah.
And I'm maybe embarrassed by how naive I was going into it. Because I'm surprised by how bad, honestly.
I mean, we saw the Michael Myers on the internet one, and I always thought, like, well, that's as bad as any of these movies I could get.
Yeah, I would put this down with, like, Saw.
Yeah.
The Saw sequels. Yeah. You know, these are, like, to me, these are bottom of the barrel horror. You'd have a much better time, in my opinion, picking up Halloween 6 or 7. Yeah. Or Busta Rhymes saying "Trick or Treat, motherfucker" is way better than this.
I will say I don't regret doing these. I think these last 3 movies were bad, but I did have a fun time watching parts of them.
Let's talk about the 8th one, right? Or 9th one? 9th one. Revelations. Yeah. I only took a few notes. This one is just truly terrible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Spoilers, it's an F for me. I even wrote that down beforehand.
Let me pull up my notes real quick.
I actually graded all these preemptively. First thing I wrote down about this one is within the first, 30 seconds, you hear the words beer, dick wet, and donkey show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this one's Hellraiser takes Mexico.
Footage-ish one?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, where they go, it's like a couple of bros going down to Mexico, and then they end up, accidentally killing a sex worker while they're drunk, etc. And then a guy shows up and is like, I know you killed the hooker. Here's the, Dybbuk box, the lament configuration.
Yeah. And they've got the... I don't want to jump ahead too much, but at the end, he goes on that big monologue about the reason that they left, that they got out of there to go to Mexico.
The worst.
That's not at all what happens at the beginning. He just goes, I'm taking you to Mexico, buddy. He's like, no, Chris, I don't care who it would be. I would kill anyone that tricks me into Mexico. I got nothing against Mexico, but that's not something I want to be sprung on me.
Yeah. He calls it, at the end when he's doing his rant, he calls it Generica.
Yeah.
He
sure
does,
doesn't he?
That's what he does. He does that.
Also, I like that Mexico in this movie is a dirty bar, a dirty bathroom, and 2 different dirty hotel rooms that are the same hotel room shot from different angles, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then the only other set is, I'm guessing, the producer's home. And then that's it.
Yeah, he also, he does say at one point, he's like, this is fucking Mexico. No one's good. This is the 100th dead body of the day or something like that, because they're all poor, and he says that, something like that.
He does.
Also, the Hellraiser in this film looks like, and you can check this out if you want, I don't know how to say it, but I think it's Squeezy, Skweezy, 4, the number 4, and then real, Squeezy for real.
Oh, yeah, I know Squeezy for real.
Yeah,
Squeezy
the pinhead
jokes.
in this film looks like that.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, absolutely. He absolutely does.
So, yeah. Just want to mention that. while it's hot, I should probably pull up the Wikipedia because again, this one was a chore. Okay. A couple other notes that I did write down though. I wrote down. I know we're jumping way ahead, but I wrote down it's called Brother Sister because
they fuck.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The twist is, which harkens back to the first one, and this actually flies.
Yeah.
This flies in the face of a criticism I have later for these films. But and I'll say it just in a moment. But yeah, harkens back to the first one. You get that weird thing where, like, in the beginning, Frank is wearing his brother's skin, but also being like weirdly sexual with his niece, which is like fucked up on 2 different levels. Which I just wanted to say really quick. My complaint, which is that these last 3, and you can say it about a bunch of them, and we've talked about it in the previous episodes. Since the first one, there's a level of like transgressive, like uncomfortable, like sexuality, blurring the lines of BDSM, pain, pleasure stuff that just has not been around.
Yeah.
And I saw it pretty succinctly put in some like Reddit posts about Hellraiser 2022, where people are basically saying like, this is fine, but, and their biggest complaint was basically my biggest complaint, all of these films have perhaps somewhat bad folks at the heart of it, but like it's not bad in that like pleasure seeking, like, you bit the apple, this is what comes when you bite the apple, like this is the consequences of your greed, this is the consequence.
Yes.
So the bad people, it's almost like Saw, like how, and again, that's why I draw so many comparisons to Saw, like how sometimes Jigsaw is putting a cigarette smoker in the same trap that they'll put like a child pedophile in.
Yeah.
It's that kind of a thing where like some movies it's just like, these guys went to Mexico and accidentally killed a hooker. I'm not saying that's bad, but it's not the same kind of character flaw, like deep down, like sexual lust and greed that like Frank has.
Yeah. I was thinking about it with the 2022.
Yeah.
It made me think about most of them, except for maybe this one. But I really hate that it's either, it's Frank in the beginning where you're somebody who knows what the box is and you open it on purpose because you want this and then you regret it, or somebody just goes, ooh, a box, and then they open it and then the Cenobites are like, oh, you're ours now.
Squeezy.
And squeezy jibs. And this one is,
hey, brah.
a guy in the bar gives him the box, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to go to the hotel room and light candles and then open it. And, like, without knowing what's inside of it. And it sucks. It sucks, but he also killed someone before that.
I don't know if you've read this, but the film was produced in a matter of weeks.
I buy that, yeah.
Due to an obligation on Dimensions Films' part to release another Hellraiser film or risk losing the rights.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the one where, Doug Bradley declined to participate because of that, making this the first entry in the series in which he does not play a Pinhead, so instead they got Squeezy. It was released at a single theater for a cruise screening.
Yeah.
That was ostensibly open to the public on March 18th and then released on DVD October 18th of 2011. The plot. So the friends, they traveled to Mexico. We've covered this.
The cruise screening was open to the public because they were like, we can't afford to rent out a whole theater.
Okay, so here's another thing I want to say. The B plot is a family, including a sister, who are just like, hey, where the fuck did my boyfriend and brother go? So there's a sister who's just like, Mom, Dad, why do we pretend like I don't have a brother or a boyfriend that's missing? And they're like, to me it feels like Cult of Chucky. It just has that kind of vibe of like the house, the one where they're in the house.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just like, I don't care, man.
How long have these boys been gone for?
Great question. According to Wikipedia, it says a year later.
Jesus. Because, they're having dinner with the boyfriend's parents, yeah? Yeah. Yes. Which I think is strange. I don't think those families would be friends. Not that they would dislike each other, but it would be like, seeing this family hurts, so I don't want to do that, you know?
Yeah.
But they're all very, I agree with the daughter on this, they're all very chummy, like nothing happened. I'm like, this is very odd.
There was a private investigator, I guess, that they sent after the boys who found a tape, and now the mom watches the tape from time to time. Also his sister found the puzzle.
Yes.
Box. She attempts to manipulate it. Stephen suddenly appears covered in blood. The family rushes Stephen to the hospital, but discover they've become stranded. They try to rush.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
One of the dads goes, all right, you just stay here, take care of them. I'll go get my car. And he runs out, and then he comes back 2 minutes later. He goes, they're gone. All the cars are gone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's the whole thing where he's like, they're like, go get a help from the neighbor. He's like, miles away.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll call someone on your cell phone. He's like, no service out here.
That's why I got the landline. The landline doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, so did the Cenobites take the car?
Yes.
Or did the boy show up, sneak the cars out of there, and then come in all covered in blood and stuff?
Warns that the Cenobites are coming. Enema plays with the puzzle box again, causing intense sexual arousal.
Oh, yeah, she touches that guy's back.
Yeah, she attempts to seduce Nico's father, Peter, and then has a deeply intimate conversation with Stephen in his room, which is when I wrote down brother-sister, because they're brother and sister, and they kiss. But then later on, we find out that Nico's in his skin.
Yes.
Frank style. But at the time, you're like, what the fuck? You just think that maybe to me, I was thinking like, okay, I guess the fucking Cenobite box just made him a damn pervert. But they kiss, and Stephen touches his sister's breast. Well, not really Stephen, but Nico. But Emma's into this, which is freaky. She does not put the kibosh on her brother fondling her. But I wonder if it's one of those things where Back to the Future style, it's because she can tell.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I bet you're right.
True love.
I bet that's what they were thinking when they wrote
it. She has a vision of chains and mutilated bodies. Peter is killed by the same vagrant. Peter is the dad. I don't remember this happening.
The boyfriend's dad. He gets his face cut off.
Stephen then goes downstairs and retrieves a shotgun and shoots his father Ross before holding the rest of the household at gunpoint. But then we find out that it's Nico.
My biggest problem with this movie, I think,
is
the amount of yelling everybody's doing at all times.
Yeah.
I get it's a scary situation.
Right.
But during every scene, everybody is screaming at the top of their lungs.
Right. And
there's no, like, ramp up or, like, pacing to, like, anyone's emotions. They are all just fucking screaming. And it's like,
That's a similar complaint that I have to 2022's Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Which I'll get to that. But I wrote down at one point screaming the movie.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's the thing is, like, and I feel like there are some modern movies, like, in the last, like, I would say, like, 10, 15 years that have been a victim of this. But it's just that thing where it's, like, a bi-curious woman who is not living up to her family's standard right now, screaming at the top of her lungs for 90 minutes straight, is not a drama.
Mm-hmm.
Is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is dramatic, but anyways. We'll get there when we get there. I have no problem with her as a person. I'm just saying that, like, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just like that attempt at, like, the modern, like, relatable character where it's like, okay, I give her, like, bangs and a septum piercing, and then we're just gonna have her scream the whole time.
I get what
it's like, okay. Well,
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Anyways,
I want to touch on Mexico.
Some of us have our shit together, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not every millennial / like, Zoomer depicted in film needs to be like, why am I so immature? I don't know. The infantilization of, like, the entire generation is more of what I'm trying to comment on, not, like, something about her being, like, you know, a blue-haired
I know
LGBT barista or something. It's just like... Anyways, whatever. So...
But...
Go ahead.
A movie about a guy who has his shit together isn't interesting, you know?
Yeah. But can you have your shit not together in a different way?
That's a great point.
Just in a different way. Not screamy way. A little less screaming.
Yes, do it quietly.
A little bit quieter.
You can have your shit not together. I just don't want to hear about it, okay?
Not that loudly. Whisper about it in another room.
I want to talk about Mexico a little bit.
Go ahead. You talked about it earlier, but go ahead.
Because he gets got by the box.
True.
So funny that Pinhead shows up and he's screaming at him immediately. He's like, just get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah. And then he takes him, I guess. And then long-haired guy just is killing prostitutes now because he wants to. Not because the box wants him to.
Right.
He just does it, and then she dies on the floor, and then his friend comes out of the floor like Frank, but he's mostly put together. He goes, "You got to kill more of them. They're getting me back together."
And then eventually he decides not to because the one prostitute has a child.
So fucking funny.
Yeah.
She would not bring you to her house with the baby.
No.
She would have a babysitter for sure.
Opening a portal to hell, see the mask gets led by Pin. Steven flees. Nico is taken to the Cenobites realm, subject to extreme torture and mutilation. Later, while having rough sex with a prostitute, we saw this. Nico is able to communicate with Steven through the puzzle box, convinces him to kill the prostitute, allow him to escape from hell. We saw this. Kills several more prostitutes, blah, 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 blah. Nico kills Steven and takes his skin. Dying, Steven uses the puzzle box to contact the Cenobites and become one of them to get revenge.
And the Cenobites are like, that sounds cool to us. Yeah, come on in, join the club.
Yeah. So he holds the family hostage, revealing to be Nico wearing Steven's skin.
He shoots the dad in the stomach.
Yes, he does.
And he just sits there holding his tummy for 45 minutes going, hey, this is what... They calm down, man.
Well, I have one big complaint, and it's exactly what you just said, but specifically when he shoots him in the stomach, his the first thing out of his mouth is like he says like one day you're gonna have kids and you're gonna understand why. I'm like, it's like nope.
Yeah.
No, he's going to prison forever.
That ship has sailed.
That ship has
Yeah.
sailed. He just shot his father in the tummy. Reveals that one of the reasons why he and Steven ran away from home was because they were tired of oh yeah, this becomes like this is like it's really just a Scream ripoff, because he reveals that basically he's like your mom and my dad had an affair, and then that made us like hate modern suburban America, and we decided to become evil.
Immediately, I was like, "What are we doing? Why am I watching? What are we doing in this movie? This movie was almost over. You didn't have to add that."
Yeah,
but why
are we ripping this off like 15 years later?
That's exactly what I was going to say about just his performance at the end in general.
Yeah.
I feel like you see this a lot, especially in horror stuff.
Yeah.
Where I think Scream might have ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
Where the killer becomes revealed and then they are the Joker.
Yeah.
Or then they are, Stu and...
Yeah. Stu and Billy.
Stu and Billy just like being over the top, being
right?
like, "Oh, we're wacky guys."
Stu?
Yeah, we're wacky guys now, and I think Matthew Lillard and not Johnny Depp are really good at that. They do a really good performance, and it's pretty short and sweet when they do it. But then you have a movie like this where he goes on for what feels like a lifetime, just hamming it up, and it is not interesting to watch. It's so also poorly shot.
Yeah.
The mom in the blue dress who is cheating with the other dad, she's sitting in that chair for a really long time, and I was laughing every time it cut to her because she is framed like an interview, like somebody on the other side of the camera is talking to her.
Talking head.
Exactly, so that when he comes into the frame with the gun, it just looks so silly. It made me laugh very hard.
I don't want to just like pull down Scream's little pants and pull out its little pee-pee and suck on it, because we've done it plenty of times on this podcast, but yeah, I just feel like it's handled so tastefully. For one, even though the Stu and Billy reveal is a reveal, it is a little bit of a twist because it's a little bit of a mystery. It's so like telegraphed the whole time. Yeah. Which is good. We've talked about this in the podcast before. A twist shouldn't be like. Let me give you an example. Like in 2022 we'll get there, but like fucking an hour into the movie it's revealed that her boyfriend was actually working for the guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if I knew this 10 or 20 minutes in the movie, then there would be dramatic irony where I know something she doesn't, and I'm on this journey with her, and like I can see her falling in love with him and trusting him, but like I know as an audience member, like I have the other half of the story, but if I don't have that half of the story, then like what are we doing? Nothing's happening. I'm watching a heroin addict take drugs on a fucking seesaw or whatever. Well, anyways, but back to this film.
Well,
what I'm trying... Scream. It's telegraphed. You can pretty much see it's going to be them the whole time, even if you don't fully get it when it happens. And then, real quick, when they're going like Joker mode, the cool thing is that they say they're going Joker mode. But there's like a really cool way where, like they try to say like we just saw too many movies, but then also they're like, or we saw your mom fuck my dad and that really fucked me up. Who knows? But like, again, it's like just tastefully done enough where like that it's like he's a psychopath And yeah, he's doing this because his mom's a whore or whatever. But he's saying there's no reason. He's saying he's Joker pilled. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I love
whatever.
it.
So it's good. It's just tasteful. But go ahead.
I think the reason the twist in, again, just gonna pull Scream's pants down real quick.
Yeah.
That twist works so well because at every chance it gets, it tells you it's them.
Yeah.
Or one of them.
Yeah.
But then it immediately goes like, oh, well, here's definitive proof that
Yeah.
Billy couldn't have been there because you don't think it's going to be both of them, and then when it's both of them, it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's the twist, is that it's both of them.
Yes.
The twist isn't that it is each, but
The 11th hour twist here doesn't work because, who said this? I want to say I heard James Willems say this on a podcast about one of the later Conjuring movies.
Okay.
A twist comes and you go, oh, I didn't see that coming, but also I don't know how it could have because it was a lie.
Yeah, I mean, that's every other Scream. Like,
Yeah.
you can't go back
Oh, yeah.
in the second one and be like, oh, it's definitely Timothy Olyphant and his mom.
It makes me so mad that every killer I think of every other Scream movie is doing the Billy and Stu thing where they're over the top at the end. Like, just it drives me crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%. But, like, the thing about watching Scream is, like I was saying a moment ago about how, like, if I know the boyfriend is double-crossing the girlfriend in Hellraiser 2022 earlier, then that ride is fun. I'm on an actual, like, a narrative. Like, a yarn is being spun. I'm on a ride. So, same thing with Scream. Like I said, I'm on a ride. And with Scream, every time you go back, like, they're being menacing. They're being creepy. Like, people have literally, gone back and, like, they kind of break down, like, where Billy is, where Stu is, how it all works out. And it, like, makes sense. Like, it tracks, It's not, just, like, pulling the rug out from underneath you. It's just more information being revealed.
Like, a thing that, like, bugged me in 2022 when it shows the boyfriend is the... Like, was he on it, like, the reason he's dating her is to get this to happen?
I guess.
Or was the guy approached later, like, in the middle of the relationship? Because... Yeah, the reading I got was that before they were dating, he was given the mission to do the shit with the box.
Yeah.
But then at the beginning, after they're banging and he says, I love you, and it gets really weird and she asks him to leave, it's like, well, was that part of the plan? Or like, it even happens with Jack Quaid in Scream 7, I want to say, where he's her boyfriend for forever in a different town. And then it's like, oh, he was dating her this whole time just to... It's like, that's
way too much commitment to the bit.
That's way too committed to the bit, and that's way too big of a leap for me to be like, somebody can be like, I'm going to date her.
Well, also, it's like... here's another example, is like that Scream movie that just came out where it's like Scream Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
And none of them recognize the dad and brother and sister of their friend?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But anyways,
okay. Oh, well, he lied about it. Anyway.
Whatever. So this movie, I'm just gonna read this really quick. Secret adultery. Emma solves the puzzle box, intending for the Cenobites to take her in his place, thus assuring his freedom. Emma opens the portals and summons the Cenobites. They kill Kate for speaking out of turn. Nico attempts to barter for his life for Emma, and while Pinhead notes that Emma has a dark sexual desire that he admires, he refuses and chooses to reclaim Nico for further experiments. Nico's taken away. Ross shoots and kills him in a dying act of revenge. Displeased by having lost a victim, the Cenobites take Sarah as a replacement for Nico. Ross apologizes, then dies in Emma's arms. Left alone, Emma reaches for the puzzle box. This is an F for me.
Absolutely.
So
might be the worst movie we've seen in the whole history of the show that we've done.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Also, this is such a nitpick, but again, to compare it to Scream one more time, at the end of Scream, Billy's got that white T-shirt on. It's covered in blood. Matthew Lillard's got that baggy tan sweater on, it's covered in blood, and if you saw two people dressed like that at a Halloween party, you would know exactly who they are.
Yeah.
This guy, when he's got the gun he's running around, he has a gray t-shirt and flannel pajama pants on. It made me so angry.
The whole time I saw it, I was just like, why is the family afraid of him? This is not a scary looking man.
Silliest little man I've ever seen.
Yeah. Push him over. Okay. Now, Hellraiser Judgment. I read online that this was a film that was like a passion project by someone who really feels like they get the Hellraiser series or something like that, something to that effect, which is crazy because this, to me, I would bet you literal money that this was a spec script laying around that got Hellraiser
turned into a Hellraiser movie.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Again, just like all the worst Saw movies and some of the worst Hellraiser movies, we're doing the fucking detective thing again.
Yeah, God, just don't care about
Would stop with the detective thing, okay?
I hate so much. It's one of my first notes that I wrote down. I wrote these ones down physically instead of on my phone, and we're doing this by candlelight to make it spooky. So I can read these.
Hard to see.
I'm so tired of cops having office beef in a movie.
Yeah.
Like when two cops are doing something and then someone else gets sent in, and they're like, "This is our case. Why they send you?" Shut the fuck up. Shut up. It's your job. This happens, I guarantee you, all the time.
I'm going to say two other things. One, even though this probably costs more to make and has more production value than the last film we just talked about, Revelations, this looks like the cheapest movie I've ever seen. This looks like they made it for $14,000. The homes that they take place in, the office that it takes place in, the fact that every time they go to the office, there's an establishing shot of the police department. You see the establishing shot of the police department more than I've ever seen any exterior of any location in my life.
Absolutely.
Except perhaps the restaurant in Seinfeld. This movie also does look and feel like a Saw, just generally.
Yes.
In the beginning, you have the Arbiter, or whatever his name is, or the Auditor. The guy with the cuts on his head and the glasses. He's the one that like runs you down. He's doing some of the judgment, you know?
Yes, I read on IMDb, so I don't know how true this is, that this movie was originally going to be a reboot, not a sequel to the Hellraiser franchise, and this was he was the original design of what the new Pinhead would be.
Yeah, but with pins. So like that cut-up look with pins.
And then they were like, nah, make it a sequel, and they're like, all right, we'll just use him for something else.
Yeah.
I like that. I do like, he's maybe the arguably only part of this movie I like, because I like that guy. I wrote down, I like Pinhead's secretary. He's a lot of fun. I enjoy him.
That whole situation, it's one of those things where like it doesn't feel like Hellraiser. It feels like a different mythology to me, because it's fine
absolutely.
for what it is. It's kind of cool, because what happens is you get the auditor and he sits there and he reads out, he asks you to like tell you about your fucking sins or whatever, then he types that all out, he leaves, and then a fat guy comes out with a fork and knife and eats your sins written down. And then he goes and like pukes into a sink, and then like these like big titty women, like the biggest, I wrote down biggest bazongas I've ever seen. These women with huge knockers eat up the slop, and then
decide if you're guilty or not. And
then you lay on a table and they like lick you clean, or they eat you if you're bad or something. Something like that, yeah. I do. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do like the idea of all this being Pinhead after 11 movies or whatever, getting caught in a statue and fucking summoned into a bunch of places he doesn't want to be doing, him being like, I gotta get some kind of middle management here. Yeah, that's my thing, is that it doesn't feel as like, Jesus Christ. I don't know why these cats are freaking out tonight. That was the scariest thing that ever happened. But anyways, we recording still? Yeah. Okay. It doesn't feel like Hellraiser Cenobite stuff. It just feels different to me. It feels like The Strangers, Saw. I don't know. It just feels different. This, and I mean this as an insult, feels a lot like Twin Peaks Season 3. And you know how much I love that. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But this, I was going to say it. Just bad. Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to write down is, and I don't remember who this is about, but something in this looked like Hellboy, the assassin from Hellboy, but a ripoff of that. Was it the cut-up guy because of his glasses? No, it was someone else that had like BDSM gimp suit shit on, I think. Okay, I believe you. Then I wrote down, yay, detectives again. And then I wrote down dog inside lady, because the lady has a dog inside of her. It's pretty gross. How did he get a dog in there? Like, how did he get a dog in there, and how we're in there? That's in the prestige, room baby. For so long without noticing that there's a dog and a lady. Also, the main detective, who is, spoilers, the progenitor, the
The Perceptor.
Perceptor.
That's my first note, is the Perceptor, LOL.
Well, here's a note. His name is Sean Carter. That's Jay-Z's legal name. That's Jay-Z's real name.
Funny.
Sean Carter. I wrote down also, every time I see one of these movies, it makes me wonder if the makers have ever seen Hellraiser or if they're making a movie based on a synopsis of Pinhead and the Cenobites. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, someone told him about
did someone tell them who Pinhead and the Cenobites are? And then they were like, yeah, make one of those movies.
Yeah, it's I guarantee you're absolutely right. This is a different movie that someone said put Pinhead inside of it.
Is what it feels like. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I just don't understand. Because, like, I don't even really, honestly, I know he shows up a couple times because there's a angel who has her fingernails painted white, which I kind of hate.
Oh, I forgot about her, yeah.
And he kills her, and then, like, the auditor's like, oop, we shan't be doing that, shan't we, or something? And he's like, whatever, suck my Cenoballs. And I thought Cenoballs would get a laugh, but...
That's pretty good.
Okay,
Sorry, I chuckled over here a little
yeah.
bit.
So anyways, whatever. So the other thing that's going on is there's a brother and brother that are detective friends.
I wrote down about 7/8 through this movie. I wrote down, they're brothers? ?
And they have, like, desks across from each other in this little wood panel room. And I'm nitpicking at this point. I'm being a hater, but just no.
Yeah.
Like, there are no brother detectives sitting in the same room.
I really wish there were, but there are not.
There. It's just so, like, again, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like, I can see, and I think you should leave skit where this guy's like, I'm writing this script and it's about two brothers that solve crime together in an office together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, it's just kind of childish in a sense. But my hater hat is coming off for a second.
Oh, sorry, go on. I'd like
go
to
ahead.
put my hater hat on.
Oh, put it back on and go ahead, talk.
The guy that at the beginning that gets judged by the Bazonga ladies, that's like a pedophile or whatever.
Yeah.
They talk about him later. They look him up in the system. And yeah, they talk about how the perp was caught a few times outside of the local high school jacking off to kids.
Yeah.
And he somehow just kept getting away from it. No. I do not believe that in any world that happens a few times and this guy isn't in jail.
Yeah.
Lower his crime if you're going to meet. He's going to be someone who's out of jail. Just be like, he got caught with some bad stuff a couple times. That I would believe, but him, crazy. And then when he goes to that house, again, by himself. No, first. When they go there the first time and the landlady lets him in, she goes, I cut that fucker's electricity off. Do you know who the landlord is?
Who?
It's Heather Langenkamp, the woman from Nightmare on Elm Street, and she's in this movie for 43 seconds.
Yeah.
And she's like top billing. It's so funny.
This movie was made for $350,000.
The last one was $300,000.
And it made like 42 to $425,000.
Yes.
So it made some money.
But anyway, the other thing I was going to get to is he goes back to the apartment by himself to check it out.
Yeah.
He walks over to the guy's laptop, which is on the floor for some reason, and he uses his pen to open the laptop.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to get fingerprints on it. And then he uses the keyboard, and I guess the password to the keyboard was the space bar.
Okay.
And he hits it.
Yeah.
And then he looks at what he's got up on the screen.
Genius. I'm going to do
Genius.
that.
And then he uses his bare finger to use the trackpad.
Great.
Hey,
Perfect.
Hey, give him gloves. That you avoid all of that by just giving him gloves.
Yeah.
And then he opens the laptop, and it's to like underageporn.com, whatever, and it's just like a website. And all I could think was like, who does the graphic design for that website? who
the intersection of pedophile and graphic design.
Who designs that invoice?
Yeah.
Do they do it for the love of the game?
Yeah, that's good.
And then, sorry, yeah, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, hater hat back on for a second. The Preceptor is doing a 7.
True.
His
yes.
murders are based on the 10 Commandments. So I
Fucking
guess he's
stupid.
doing a 10, but it's a 7. Connection to one of the victims leads blah 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 to blah blah blah. Went missing, abandoned house. Sean goes there, loses consciousness, wakes up in this. It's called the Stygian Inquisition.
Cool.
It's part of hell now, which again is just like, it just doesn't like. I've seen hell. I saw hell in the second one. This don't look like no goddamn hell.
This looks like David Lynch's 2017 The Black Room, Black Lodge.
Yeah.
He goes and picks up...
He's not supposed to be there also. But go ahead.
True. And I love that the guy is immediately, he's like, well, when's the first time you hurt someone? He goes, I'll tell you about every time I ever killed somebody. But when he goes, what's that over there? And he looks at the box or the pile of boxes that are there, puzzle boxes. The cut up man goes and picks him up, and it makes a scream sound, but it is the exact same scream that when in Spider-Man 1, he goes to that burning building and the Green Goblin is there with that old lady shawl on.
Fuck, yeah.
It turns around and goes, blah! It's that scream exactly. 1-to-1. Go home and look it up later, everyone.
So then an angel shows up. Jophiel? Something like that. Blonde woman who is like 2007 like Maxim cover model is what she looks like.
Beautiful way to put it, Chris. Yeah.
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 She's wearing like white pantsuit, white nail polish. Again, it's like porn movie level of like angel.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what the weird. The weirdest depiction of an angel I've ever seen in a movie.
Another nitpick, another stupid thing that I wrote down, but it happens right here. When she goes, you gotta let him go.
Yeah.
And then the typewriter guy goes to Pinhead.
Yeah.
He goes, sorry, if I could have a minute of your time. Pinhead goes, what?
Yeah.
And that made me...
Also, I read somewhere that the guy who is playing Pinhead spent a little bit of time preparing by smoking cigarettes and walking around at night in bad neighborhoods.
I'm sorry. Did you make that up?
I swear to God on everything holy. Look this up. I will pull it up. Hang on one second.
Hey, I believe you, but...
Let me see if I can't find this somewhere.
Because I'm pretty sure they put an effect on his voice.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
And he's probably, I think, sitting for most of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hang on. Right. Taylor thought... Okay. Taylor thought he blah, 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 blah. Right. Okay. So Taylor became involved when he received an email inviting him to a screen test as the auditor. After the test, he was asked to audition as Pinhead. The latter audition took place in Los Angeles, where Taylor thought he nailed his performance. Tuna Cliff allowed him to interpret the character, and he was given months to prepare before filming. The preparation included smoking, unusual for Taylor, to give his voice a gravelly quality. So Taylor, the actor who was named Taylor, let's see, he might be the auditor, actually. Let me just double check really quick before I... Harris, Heather Langenkamp. No, Paul T. Taylor as Pinhead. So Taylor... Here is Taylor, me talking about Taylor here. Filming and editing, no, right here, casting. Right, so, as I just said, he felt that he nailed his performance. The director, Turnacliffe, whatever, allowed him to interpret the character, and he was given months to prepare before filming. The preparation included smoking, unusual for Taylor, to give his voice a gravelly quality. He took late-night walks in high-crime neighborhoods near his home, which he described as, quote, facing the fear. He said of his performance, quote, I have a vulnerability in my acting no matter what I do. It's just there. It's about the stillness. Pinhead's already so terrifying that when he makes a move, it means something. He's very economical, and when he speaks, he's so eloquent. Believing Pinhead has to be British, the American actor used a British accent when in character. For research, he visited the comic book store to read Hellraiser comic books in which Pinhead appeared.
Cool.
Anyways. Okay, so yeah, he smoked cigarettes and hung out in bad neighborhoods and stuff.
I feel like having a gravelly voice from cigarettes happens after 30 years. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it doesn't happen after a couple of months, but also, yes, you're doing an effect in your voice. So,
Crazy.
Anyways, so he's supposed to be let go, according to the angel, and then he sneaks out with a box, and then the auditor tells Pinhead, like, hey, the angel said he can go. Then he realizes that he, like, snuck out, and then I think Pinhead's mad, and he's like, okay, well, we got to get him back, and we got to get that puzzle back. Sean Carter, not Jay-Z, is an alcoholic with PTSD from being in, like, Iraq or whatever, right?
Correct.
And him and his wife are on the rocks.
They don't have any electricity in their house every time you go there.
Right.
There are 2 large candles.
He forgot her birthday or something, and she doesn't even like persimmons. Persimmons is a fruit.
He didn't.
Yeah.
Day of, he went, oh, it's my wife's birthday. And he went, and hey, listen, I don't know the rest of the relationship.
Sure.
But for my money, at this point in the movie, I was like, yeah, he's a homicide detective.
Yeah.
And he brought you flowers on your birthday.
Yeah.
you married the cop. You know what this life was gonna be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in movies, I know that the line of work is like stressful, and that in real life, these people definitely have marital problems. But like, yeah, the way it's depicted in movies is just kind of a funny thing where it's like, dude, you are married to a homicide detective. If there's a homicide, that means 24/7 he's on killer hunt for sure.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's just a no-brainer to me. I'm not saying it would be easy, but like, yeah, anytime I see it in movies, I'm just like you just said, like, you married the homicide detective. Like,
Yeah.
this was the life you chose. I'm not saying that doesn't mean you don't get the chance to complain, but like just the way that like, yeah, like I said, I know for a fact it definitely probably ruins marriages in real life, but I just feel like there's like a third dimensional way to like depict that.
Yes.
Rather than just such a flat like. Anyways, Sean and Christine go to the coroner, blah 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 blah. Something about like, oh yeah, there's a phone in the woman, but the.
And how come every coroner in every movie has to be Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
Like just a big guy with glasses and a Hawaiian shirt.
Doesn't
every
Kevin
single
Smith
time.
play a coroner in like Hellboy 2 or something?
Daredevil, yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah.
But the preceptor, who's super smart and has read A Tale of Two Cities. This movie talks about A Tale of Two Cities so many times.
Mm-hmm.
He's super smart. He's read that book a bunch.
Well, Chris, it is the world's most popular book.
Indeed, I think they say that about 6 times in this movie.
Is that even true?
I think actually yes.
I'm gonna believe it's not.
Okay, fair.
And I won't look it up.
Go ahead.
Me and you, our opinions are A Tale of Two Different Cities.
This is true. He Saw Twist is the killer the whole time.
Because of course he is.
Literally a saw twist. Is this not what happens with Fitzsimmons? What's the guy's name? Hoffman.
Yes, Hoffman. Yeah,
this is the
absolutely.
Hoffman twist.
And they find it out because
he
brother
put a phone in the lady without.
But also his brother found without realizing it died while she was using her GPS. His brother finds out because he goes to get him at home because he's drunk and sees a Bible that he has verses highlighted and underlined in, which happen to just relate to. He just Googles those and he goes, "This is what the preceptor says in the Bible." And he's like, "Oh God!" Which also, by the way, the brother says the killer says this a couple times in the movie, including this scene. He says, "Only God can judge me." I don't think that's ever been said by not an asshole.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sure. I don't understand the reveal, and I think this is what you're getting at, mainly because it's like, this dude's fucking working the Preceptor case. Like, him having that shit highlighted is not suspicious. He's a detective on that fucking case. Like, I don't know why the other 2 detectives are like, oh, he highlighted the thing that the murderer said in a book? It's like, yeah, of course he would. He's fucking working the case. Like,
yeah. And when the new detective she's talking to him mentions something about the Tale of Two Cities, and he goes, "Yeah, because the killer wrote it down or whatever." And she goes, "And you didn't report that?" He goes, "Well, I mean, it could have been anybody. It's the most popular book in the world, you know. It would be way easier for him to just go, yeah, I didn't think I needed to. It's the world's most popular book. I thought we were all on the same page with that." But his brother figures it out because he finds evidence of the case that they're already working on.
Yeah.
I would say the funniest part to me in this movie is when the brother and the new detective are in the car, and his wife calls him to be like, "Hey, you have to come get him because he's drunk." He hangs up on his excuses. He has car troubles. I need to go get him. He's 35.
Yeah.
What do you mean he has car troubles? I need to go get him.
I will also say, like, this is a very disparate story. I feel like there's such a very loose connection between, like, again, this just feels like a script where they wrote Pinhead into it because his crossing paths, like, there's no cohesion to why he's here.
Yeah.
Like, in the original Pinhead, as you know, you've seen the film, he's in it for 4.5 seconds. But he was there for a reason. Frank sought out the fucking box. They raped him until he was a pile of blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then his girlfriend brings him back by, like, slowly, whatever, bleeding all over him. And he has, narratively speaking, cheated the Cenobites. He's escaped them. And they find out. And they want him back. Which I guess happened in this film because I said that, like, yeah, he, like, ended up accidentally in the auditor's room, and then an angel said he could go, and then he left, like the angel said that he could, but he took a box so now Pinhead wants to chase him because he's escaped. But it's just not the same at all. Because he wasn't supposed to be in that room.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is that room?
Yeah.
And what... I mean... So he reveals, he goes Joker mode, Scream 9 mode at the end where he says, like, oh, I'm doing all these murders because everybody's on their fucking iPhone. Yeah. You porn, blah, 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 right?
Homegrown Simpsons stuff.
And I don't care. And I hated it, but also just like, what did any of this have to do with pain and pleasure and lust and sin and sex?
Did he open a box? The box was there, but did he open the box at any point in the movie?
No, he somehow accidentally stumbled into the
world.
Yeah.
Because they got the pedophile guy.
Because he went to the house?
Yeah.
And then he woke up in hell?
I guess, because the house is a portal to hell?
I guess so.
Also, the reveal is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a movie, maybe.
Yeah.
They go to the place where the GPS turned off.
Right.
And they can't get in. And the new detective, she goes, oh shit, we're going to need a warrant to get in there.
I hear a struggle, don't you?
Why would he do that? He would want to keep her out.
Yeah.
And then they go in and he gets caught because he, for some reason, has a picture of himself taped up to the wall.
Yeah. And then he reveals that his brother had an affair with his wife.
Yeah.
And that's why he's been doing all this? That's his, like, jigsaw motivation for doing the 10 Commandment
which is very
kills?
Which is very obvious that they're together. And again, I laughed it's right before I laughed at him being 35 and needing car help. But the wife calls him and he answers it and goes, "Oh, hey, you." I'm like, why would you do that in front of someone else? Yeah. Why would you do that in front of someone else?
And so again, I'm not saying that serial killers make sense. Being a psychopath is being a psychopath. Blah 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 blah. I just feel like when adultery happens like that, I mean, maybe I'm, again, just nitpicking, but, like, don't you just, like, stab both of them 48 times each in your ex-wife's house? Like, I don't know, like, has anyone been cheated on? And this could be something that gets right in. Tell me. Is there a story of a motherfucker getting, like, cheated on and then he goes on, like, some sort of thematic, operatic, like, biblical murder spree tied to like the sins of the world and how everybody's on their phone?
Yeah, he kills people other than his wife and lover.
Because I know for example, like someone like Ted Bundy or whatever, like I think like the backstory goes that like he didn't even kill anyone until he was like out of college, and it happened after when he was in college. He started he got like cheated on by like a girl he loved or something like that, or like she broke up with him and broke his heart. Maybe like cheating didn't even happen or whatever, but most of his like victims like looked a lot like her or something like that, which is like I said, I'm not saying it's like totally outside of the realm of whatever the fuck, but I'm just saying it's just like a big jump is all I'm saying. Like if my brother Donnie slept with a significant other of mine or whatever, I'm just again, like I said, I get someone being psychotic, but like just the leap from like, well, I'm gonna kill Donnie and like whatever is already crazy, but like it's extra crazy to be like I'm gonna go on this like big multi-year long thing where I'm a detective working my own case.
Yeah.
Where I 10 murders commandment style that all culminate in me revealing dramatically to my brother,
who is also my partner.
Yeah, who's also been working the case. It just seems like a really, and again, I get it, people do this constantly, but that's a high risk for what reward, man?
Right?
Like, you're putting yourself in a really crazy situation.
And you know what I just thought about?
What?
He missed his wife's birthday, most of it, because he was at home working the case. He was at work working the case so long, and everyone's like, you're way too close to this case. He doesn't need to be.
Uh-huh.
And he's getting drunk because he's too close to the case. He doesn't. It's him.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see him getting drunk because he like feels guilty about what he's doing.
Sure.
Like he's
getting drunk because his brother adulterated his wife.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, he probably doesn't care about his wife's birthday because she fucked his brother. So
yeah,
I'll give it to him. And then anyway, he makes a deal with the Cenobites, and they're like, "You got let him go. All right, he'll come back later when he dies, but let him go for right now." And then he comes back, and immediately that woman shoots him in the head.
Very funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the angel's all mad because she's like, you did that, and you knew he was going to get shot right away. And then she's like, you're in trouble. And like I said, Pinhead's like, lick my cinnaballs. And then the auditor's like, oh, the devil or God or whatever is not going to like that we did that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then?
Freeze frame credits roll.
Really?
That's the last thing I remember.
Let me see. Aware that someone from hell would come to collect his soul after his initial escape, Sean attempts to offer Allison and David to Pinhead. Pinhead tells him they will be dealt with for opening the box, but because a separate faction of hell wants his soul, no deal will be made. The auditor appears, telling Sean the Inquisition has found him guilty of his sins. Jophiel intervenes again and protests to Pinhead and the auditor that Sean is part of heaven's plan to instill fear into sinners, which is true, but also she also tells him that he's not going to heaven because he's a murderer, and he's like, what? He can't believe that one. That's very funny to me. Pinhead arranges for Christine to kill Sean and spitefully dispatches Jophiel. As punishment, God banishes Pinhead to Earth, tormented by the want of suffering. In a post-credit scene, a group of Mormon missionaries in Germany approach a house and are answered by the auditor, which I did watch. Yeah, that happens. I don't... What am I supposed to do with that information? Like, I saw it happen, but I'm like, okay, and
you get excited for the Mormon sequel.
So, that's an F for me.
Yeah, same. Am I wrong? Don't they say in, like, one of the first two movies, like... It's not that you open the box, it's that you had intent with opening the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when he points a gun at his wife and brother and goes, open the box!
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's the thing is, like, without those, like, lore bits like that, like, that's, again, the thing I was talking about earlier with, like, the Reddit posts where they were just, like, without that stuff, without the intent, without the seeking, without it being, like, a forbidden fruit tale, and the consequences of taking that bite and being cast out of, you know, the lands of frickin' the Gardens of Eden or whatever, then it's just like he's just demoted to being just like a Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Like just a guy who kills with chains. And it's like, okay, well, you lost everything that was cool.
Exactly. And now if you wanted to take that and not include any of the lore stuff in the opening the box with intent, but...
That's gonna sound great on the mic.
Chris taking a huge piss right now.
It's orange. Almost done. Oh, there's a little more. Why is it so fizzy? Oh. Okay, we're good. We're leaving that in.
So if you wanted to make one of these movies, but like you still didn't want to include any of the lore stuff, but you didn't want it to be like, oh, if you open the box, you're dead.
Yeah.
How would you go about that? Would you add a knife to the box, and anytime someone gets stabbed, they get bited?
I hate that.
Yeah, I despise it.
And
it's so stupid.
And it's so stupid that it's like the only if it cuts you, then are you damned?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I actually, like I said, so as a film, this is much more watchable than anything we've been subject to in a while.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I think I hate this movie and everything it stands for as far as being a Hellraiser film for sure.
Yeah. Real quick side note before we even start.
Yeah.
What a dog shit name Hulu is, right?
Yeah?
When you see something that says a Hulu production, I immediately go, ugh. Ugh.
Would you rather see a Tubi production?
I think so. That's what I was thinking about during the first one we talked about here, Revelations. I was like, I feel like this is a straight to Tubi movie.
I have plenty to say about this film.
Uh-huh.
We're going to backtrack. But the first thing I wrote down, the first thing that was like of note to me, which I probably wrote maybe 45 minutes in this movie. We're not going to go on. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean this with my whole heart. I'm putting my whole Chris Sissi in this. I wrote down, what is happening besides this lady fighting with her brother? For so long, we're just watching this woman fight with her brother.
Yeah.
And again, nothing wrong with that, but like 45 minutes in, I'm like, this is Hellraiser 11?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like a big problem with that is I don't like anyone in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know why, but you ever get like introduced to somebody? And sorry, maybe this is very revealing of me and myself.
Yeah.
You ever get introduced to somebody and you're like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I got no reason not to.
Sure.
And I just don't.
Yeah, someone rubs you the wrong way.
This person shows me the wrong way. That's every single character in this movie for some reason.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when the two
Not
of
a
them
lot
are
of charisma on display here is all.
When the two of them are fighting just for the first 90 minutes of this movie, I was like, ah, damn, I don't care.
Yeah.
My first thing of note that I wrote down is the guy at the very beginning that opens the box and then gets all cut in the chains or whatever. He's getting all cut up in the background, and the bad guy's talking to somebody, and in the background, the guy getting all the chains in him. He already has 1,000 chains in him, but he goes, "Oh no!"
It's like in Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, and the guy's in the basement like, he's killing me.
yeah.
The next thing I wrote down, which again, I agree with you. These characters, I don't necessarily like them. I didn't necessarily dislike them either. It was whatever. I wrote down good performances and stuff, but what am I watching? And that maybe happened like 10 or 15 minutes later, because again, it's just one of those things where it's like you were saying with the ninth one, everybody's screaming in every scene, and I feel like that's true about this movie, because I did write down screaming the movie is another note that I took, because it's just like if everything's an 11, then everything's a 1.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially when anytime she's trying to explain anything that she knows to anybody else,
her voice
like
is breaking and getting hoarse,
and she's screaming.
stuff,
and at one point,
crying.
I do appreciate one of the other characters goes, "Listen, it's not that I don't believe you; it's that I don't believe this.
Yeah.
So please just calm down and explain this to me."
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy.
Yeah. I wrote down the boxes here, so it's a Hellraiser movie, I guess.
And I don't like that after watching all of these.
Yeah.
I don't like that the main character of these movies are the box.
Yeah.
I that's silly to
and
me.
I wrote down no pleasure seekers, because again, that's the again, the big thing. Like, it's like I mean, we've said it a million times this podcast specifically, but the consequence of your lust and your pleasure seeking and stuff is open the box and it gets cenobited. And it doesn't have to be that same story every time necessarily, but it's like there has to be some element of like, you made the bed.
Yeah.
Like, someone has to make the bed. It doesn't have to be the main character, someone around the character, or blah 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 blah. But that's what just separates this from me and anything else. Like, it'd be like if you, by the time you were in the second Nightmare on Elm Street, nobody was having nightmares anymore.
Yeah.
Like, Freddy just shows up and kills you with the glove. It's like,
it
okay,
feels
well,
like it, yeah.
It's like, okay, well, yeah, but the dream was like a big part of it,
That's why I like the one. Again, I recognize and admit that it's not a good movie, but that's why I liked 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
With that one cop that's just a piece of shit the entire movie. I'm like, yeah, this guy's getting hell bit. I get it.
Yeah. Let's see. Wrote down next stuff. No, thank you.
Oh my god.
Do you know why I wrote that down? Because I can't remember.
There's one part where a lady gets a needle through her neck, and the camera goes
thank you.
inside. I wrote that down too. I like that. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty good for a gory horror.
I'm just
movie.
gonna read my other notes, and then I would like to do like a rundown overall. But the last couple notes I have are, there's the Chatterer, which again, they love bringing back the Chatterer design.
I love him. I wrote him down a teeth guy.
Yeah, don't like him.
Okay.
Because to me, the Cenobites are like sentient. And they use them for like a dumb scene where he like just traps them behind the fence but can't figure out how to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a dumb like Jurassic Park-y scene where it's just like, what is this? This is not...
And then they stab him with the box, and he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna get chained."
Yeah.
And the Pinhead explodes him.
Yeah.
Do you think he likes that? Because he's a Cenobite? Is he like, "Oh hell yeah, finally I'm getting it"?
Well, I will say, here's a positive for the movie. When she gets that one lady in the tunnel, she says something like, "Your body is a tongue full of taste buds, and I can't wait to show you all the different sensations it can feel," which is cool. Because again, like, I know it's a touchy subject, and there's really no way around it. But the thing that makes the Cenobites scary in a special way is it's like they're kind of gonna like murder rape you to death.
Kinda.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be like violating.
Yeah.
But the problem with all the sequels is that like it happens like that.
Yeah.
They get chained and then boom, dead.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one of these. Oh yeah, the last one. Real quick about Judgment, the angel does the Jesus wept thing when she gets exploded by chains. She says Jesus wept.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
That sucks.
It does. But anyway, so next up, no thank you. And then again, we talked about this. Way too late to reveal the twist. Again, it's like it reminds me of like the example that Alfred Hitchcock gives of like two people having a conversation at a table is interesting and like scary and tense, like suspenseful if the audience can see that underneath the table is a bomb they don't know about.
Yeah.
But to me, my thing would be like, I know it doesn't work perfectly, but like again, like if they're just having the conversation for an hour straight and I don't see the bomb underneath the table, then what are we doing? That's why I wrote down the first couple of notes of like, what, like, narratively speaking, other than her being a drug addict and getting kicked out of her brother, like, what is happening? Hellraiser.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, nothing is happening.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that, like, yes, drama, I guess, like, melodrama is happening, but there is no dramatic, like, pacing or, like, storytelling happening for, like, a very long part of this film.
Yeah.
Which is what bothers me the most. But anyways, do you have any notes you want to touch on, or do you want to touch on them as I go through the thing? It's totally up to you.
I don't have a lot, so I'll go through them right now. They don't do anything in this movie. Not even what you were saying about the cast, correct? Like, nothing's really happening in this movie. But I mean the Cenobites in general, which, again, not to beat a dead horse, but it's stupid that they're the main antagonists of this movie.
Yeah.
But they walk around and then really slowly, and then they can miss you if you walk behind their back. But then if they get you, they get you. You get the chains.
I just don't like that they're like dumb and like can be tricked. Like they're in my opinion, it's supposed to be like
over and over again.
I'm the potent blah 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 blah.
And when that lady's in the hospital, like sneaking around him, that goes on for so goddamn long, and none of it's scary or even kind of tense.
Yeah.
It's just there's like a lot of flashing coming from the windows or whatever, and you're watching an old lady shuffle around.
Yeah.
And it's very boring. I liked this stab through the neck. She gets stabbed in the back with the box. And then they pull it out and they go, oh, wait, there's a knife in there. So, because you're not supposed to take a knife out if you get stabbed. Yeah. I was wondering
in movies,
this.
They always take the knife out.
They always take the knife out. If you get stabbed and then you take the knife out and you start bleeding to death, can you put the knife back in?
Stab me again. Put it back.
Can you like plug it up again? Is that like better than leaving it out?
I'll ask ChatGPT later.
Okay.
And I'll report back.
And the thing about the knife is really the last thing I had written down.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I just want to kind of speed around some of the... So, David S. Goyer co-wrote this film.
That's what I was going to bring up. Hold on. I said this before we started recording. Let me get to this guy's Wikipedia, because I was like, well, why do I know that name?
I've seen that name a lot.
Yeah, he wrote...
Blade Trilogy.
No, I'm telling you. Put it down. He wrote the Dark Knight Trilogy with Christopher Nolan. He wrote Man of Steel, the Blade movies, The Unborn. He also wrote Call of Duty Black Ops, Black Ops 2, Black Ops Cold War. He won a Saturn Award for writing Batman Begins, and also he was born in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
He wrote the Crow City of Angels. That last thing was interesting. The Ann Arbor, Michigan thing.
Yeah.
He wrote the Crow, the City of Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wrote Jumper. Remember Jumper?
Starring Star Wars?
He wrote Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, Terminator Dark Fate. But yeah, he has a story credit for this. Anyways, so yeah, weird, huh? Uncredited writing roles. Pet Sematary 2 in 92, he had some involvement in that.
Oh, he directed Blade Trinity.
Freddy vs. Jason in 2003, he had some kind of uncredited writing role that's even listed on Wikipedia. And Godzilla 2014, so interesting.
It looks like the last movie he wrote is this Hellraiser movie.
Yeah. Blade the series. Did you know that happened on Spike TV in 2006?
I sure did not.
Yeah. How about that? Constantine the series. Krypton the series.
Oh,
the Sandman the series.
Or the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury movie.
Wonderful. Yeah. So anyways. Mixed bag. Mixed bag for Mr. David S. Goyer.
Yeah.
David Bruckner, he did the Night Swimming, or whatever, the Night House movie. People loved the Night House. Did you know that?
No.
You know the Night House?
No.
Well, David Bruckner, the guy who directed this film, he did that, and people love it.
Didn't he also do The Ritual?
The
The Ritual?
I don't know. Oh, is that the one we watched where it's like
it's like the
found footage in Norway or something?
Yeah, the really cool looking monster at the end.
Uh-huh.
That's all I remember about it.
Yeah. So, let me take a little look here. Plot. While hosting a lavish orgy at his mansion, which I read that before I watched it. There's one room the guy walks by where there's an orgy kind of happening. So in general, to call it a lavish orgy, it just reminds me of like the one that's the internet MMO movie, Hellworld. Like that being a Hellraiser party, it's like, nah, not enough sex is happening for this to be a Hellraiser party, in my opinion. Anyways, Roland Voigt. He's a socialite who invites a homeless sex worker named Joey Cascuna to solve a mysterious mechanical puzzle box, which is interesting because don't even know if in the movie they say his first name, let alone the last name. So the fact that he has a first name and a last name is hilarious to me.
Oh, they do. He goes, my name's Joey. Joseph. My friends call me Joey. I thought that was dumb. That's why I remember.
Yeah. Which springs the blade, cuts Joey, opens a portal to another dimension. He gets chained. I did like him getting chained, like you said, as like in the background periphery, not being the main focus. Even though, which again, it's like one of those things from like Hellraiser 3 where like, getting chained up in the hospital is cool, even if it doesn't, again, like really fit what I've seen of Hellraiser. It just is cool, especially because another thing that I've said about Hellraiser that I still stand by is that like they're interdimensional sex torture demon beings. They should not be like afraid of being caught. There should be no earthly threat, right? So the fact that would just happen in a hospital in front of doctors and shit is super cool to me. 6 years later, recovering drug addict Riley lives with her estranged brother Matt, his boyfriend Colin, and their roommate Nora. Riley and her boyfriend Trevor discover the puzzle box in an abandoned storage warehouse. Is a weird way to say that because what really happens is that Riley needs a job because she's not paying rent, and Trevor has a job down by the docks and like knows of like a storage unit that's like not being used but like owned by a rich guy and has something of value inside of it or something. So like if you wanted to, you could help me rip it off. Returning home late after stealing it, Riley has been out drinking with her boyfriend. They're both like technically in recovery, or supposed to be, or whatever. And then Matt, her brother, and her get into a fight about the fact that she's drunk. And her brother's just like, I'm always worrying about you, and you never have money, and blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out. And she's like, you don't mean that. Say it like you mean it. And he's like, get the fuck out. So she does leave. His boyfriend's smoking a cigarette on the street, and is like, "Don't go. You're just having a rough night, and you should stay here." And then she doesn't. She leaves. She goes to the park, and she finds like her pills in her trunk, and she takes them. She gets fucking crazy high, and at an empty park, she ends up solving some of the puzzle because like the puzzle in this movie is a little different. It like changes shape, and also
I like that. I like that it's got different configurations, like it's got different shapes to it, so they can tell when it's done or not. Go
on. They also changed the lore at the end to say that like whatever your intent for opening, there's like 6 different intents you can have, like with opening the box. Like you can either have like pleasure or knowledge or resurrection or sensation or something like that, right? She opens it. She misses being cut. The Cenobites appear and demand another sacrifice.
They go, that's not how that works. You gotta cut yourself on the box. You cheated.
Yes. And Matt, her brother, feels guilty about the situation or whatever, finds her high, and ends up accidentally cutting himself in the box.
How does he find her, though?
Great question.
He's just like, I guess I'll check the park.
Yeah. He enters the nearby bathroom to clean the wound. And then starts experiencing a headache. Riley notices the box changing shape before she hears Matt screaming, finding him missing upon entering the bathroom. Believing the box caused Matt's disappearance, Riley and Trevor track down Roland Voigt's former lawyer, Serena Menaker.
She's his lawyer?
Yes.
I missed that.
Yeah. At a assisted living facility. Having concealed it in the warehouse, Menaker attempts to confiscate the box from Riley, but ends up cutting herself.
No. Riley cuts her with the box.
Riley cuts her.
She turns it and then slams it shut, and then a knife comes out in her.
So she ends up getting killed by the Cenobites or abducted or something?
Yes.
Then Riley's like, I gotta go to Voight's abandoned mansion. Come on, Trevor. And Trevor's like, no, I'm gonna throw the box away. And she's like, no, I need the box to resurrect my brother. And all that happens. And then she does eventually go to the box, Freddy vs. Jason style, or the mansion. I mean, she travels in a van, a Scooby-Doo van or whatever, or alone in her car.
But a big box, you got it.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways,
Also, I hated that whenever so many things that she looks at look like the box, like the
Yeah.
playground or the mansion, or it really bothered me.
I also just don't like the traveling to his the whole like traveling to the mansion and it being abandoned, and like the doing internet research, and like there's a weird stuff about like all these people have gone missing and how he's gone missing. All of that just felt so like Nightmare on Elm Street reboot ish to me. You know what I'm talking about? Like that, or like Freddy vs. Jason, where it's just like, what is all this? Anyways.
And something that bothered me, it just made me like our main character less.
Yeah.
Is when she looks all that stuff up, tells the boyfriend, and then the boyfriend tries to get rid of the box.
Yeah.
She goes, "I know you didn't fucking believe me." And he's like, "I do believe you.
Or else I wouldn't be throwing out the
That's
fucking
why I'm
box.
throwing out the box."
Yeah. Also, here's a question for you. Why is he throwing out the box if the whole point was to get her there?
It's the long con, baby.
Wouldn't he be... Well, no, why wouldn't he be like, dude, great idea. Let's go to this fucking mansion.
Oh, he's just throwing the scent off so they don't think it's him.
But you don't need to. There's no way he would ever
That's what I'm saying. That's what
be
we were saying
suspected.
earlier about the Stu and Billy stuff, where it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, that's such a good twist because they tell you, but they also fuck with you to make you think it's not
Yeah.
it. But this one is
Because
just
my
they
thing
lied
would
to
be
you.
like, if something like that happened, like where the twist comes that late in the movie, but then there are points in the movie like that where he's like, dude, great idea, let's go to the mansion. Then on rewatch, I'd be like, dude, that little fucker.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything like that because it's not really... You know what I'm saying? Like, you buried it.
Yeah.
There's no way... There was no hints or little tips or tricks I could have picked up on. Okay. She reads this rich guy's journals. Each of the box's 6 configurations require a victim to be marked for sacrifice by its blade. On completion, the holder receives a gift from Leviathan, the entity that rules over hell. Riley sees an apparition of Matt and is horrified to discover that he has been flayed. Colin, Trevor, and Nora arrive in Trevor's van to take Riley home. While Riley explains her findings to Colin, Nora hits a switch in the bar and opens a secret passage, which, you know, Trevor ends up closing the door on her, trapping her inside. And as he attempts to rescue her, the mutilated Voight, concealed inside the wall, stabs her with the box. The group escapes the mansion to seek help, but the Cenobites abduct Nora, who is taunted, tortured, and fatally flayed in a decrepit hallway by the leader, the priest, who is Pinhead. The van crashes after Riley sees a reflection of Nora's torture in the rearview mirror. Also worth noting is that, like, are they getting lost in the woods, or are the Cenobites changing the woods?
I think they're dumb and they just got lost.
Okay.
Because they're too busy yelling at each other to figure anything
The
out.
whole movie they're yelling at each other. I understand that bad communication is, like, at the heart of a lot of drama, but, like, this is, like, another level where it's, like...
Yeah.
Just, yeah. Anyways, the van crashes after Riley sees the blah. I said this. After Riley refuses the priest's offering to exchange Matt for 2 sacrifices, she is offered to sacrifice either 2 people or herself. After a Cenobite known as the Chatterer injures Trevor, Riley solves the next configuration and stabs the Chatterer, who's ripped apart as the next sacrifice. Holy shit. The trio retreats to the mansion, realizing the steel doors will bar the Cenobite from entering, because in the beginning there's the whole thing with Joey where he gets, like, trapped in there by Roland Voight. Remember this happening?
Oh, man. You know what I didn't notice until right now, looking at this movie? The lady with her neck open?
Yeah.
Her thing is out.
Her vagina?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's all, like, pinheady. It's crazy. Go on. Sorry.
Leaving Trevor to rest, Riley and Colin plan to trap a Cenobite known as the Asphyx as the last sacrifice, but she drops the box. Voight appears, picks it up, and stabs Colin, revealing that he sought sensation after completing all of his sacrifices, but instead, a contraption was attached to him that randomly twists his nerve endings.
So funny.
It
It's
is.
a little gut twisting machine stuck in his body the entire
Yeah,
time.
because the whole thing is like they always stop just before he's about to go numb to the sensation.
It's crazy. It's
Crazy.
just crazy.
It's actually pretty crazy. The idea is interesting to me because this is exactly the kind of thing that, again, this is a little praise I'm going to sing of this film. What was my first praise? Do you remember my first praise?
No.
Oh, it was the sensation thing.
Yes.
Like, your body is a little tongue. And I have so many sensations to show you. This is a great example of what the Cenobites should be doing in a sense.
Yeah.
The weird thing where they're like, he's never going to die from this. But forever, he's just damned to feel that. There you go. You finally cracked the code on what the Cenobites are. Thank you. All right.
But they got him. They got our guy who's there, who opened the box because he knew what it was, and now he's trying to get it away from the Cenobites. But they still managed to sneak in fucking her opening the box by going, ooh.
Yeah. See, again, like, if I was writing this film, like, in my opinion, so much more of the film would be focused on him, and you would know his intention, and you would have the character like Riley or whatever, where, like, yeah, that's the one that you root for and you hate to see get sucked into this situation. But again, like, this movie's 2 hours. Why did you add all the 30 minutes of
too long
of them like yelling and her getting high in the park and blah 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 blah?
Yeah, say what you want about Hellraiser Judgment, but at least it had the common courtesy to be an hour and 10 minutes long. I think.
Yeah, I feel like you could have gotten the same amount of like emotional mileage out of like a truncated like 10-minute version of all that kind of stuff, and maybe replace some of that time with like knowing that the boyfriend's working for this guy, spending more time with like him and him being like, yeah, I got fucked by fucking with the box, and like now I have the fucking the nerve shit, and like I gotta stop this, and go into whatever length he has to like guilt or like trap this young boy into like working for him, because again, like I don't know exactly why he agreed to the guy or whatever, but that's a great way to like put this character in a situation he doesn't really want to be in, but like his hands are tied or whatever. And then again, like I said, reveal it earlier that he's doing this, so that you have that like, you know, tension thing of almost like the, you know, Halloween Ends thing, where it's like you're watching Corey Cunningham fall in love with this girl, and you're like, man, I kind of like Corey, but also he's a fucking murder. Anyways.
Can't believe you pulled the name Corey Cunningham out of thin air. Good on you.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, I never would like remember Corey. His name though.
Yeah, but anyway, so in my opinion, I could have made a better Hellraiser 2022, motherfucker.
Hey, and Chris, in my opinion,
I
think you could have too.
Thank you.
You're a very talented guy.
Void appears, picks it up, stabs Colin after she chose sensation. But instead of contraption was attached to him, twists his nerve ending. He privately speaks with Trevor, revealing he employed him to locate suitable humans. Then completes the final configuration and traps the Cenobites, demanding they ask Leviathan to free him. While Leviathan appears above the mansion, Riley retrieves the box, unlocks the steel door, and rescues Colin from torture by stabbing Trevor, marking him as the final sacrifice. Meanwhile, the priest warns Voight that his reward can only be exchanged and not revoked. He accepts her offer of power and is released from his contraption and healed, only for Leviathan to immediately impale him with a large chain and lift him away. When the sacrifice is completed, the Cenobites offer to resurrect Matt. Riley declines, realizing their gifts will bring pain, and decides to accept Matt's death. After this,
they say, good job.
Yeah, but in my opinion, again, that's like a quintessential, like if I was writing like a Cenobite Hellraiser Bible, like if I had created these, if I was Clive Barker and I was afforded like this position as like I could be like the end all be all, I would like write a fucking Hellraiser Bible, and like one of the 10 commandments would be like, you cannot refuse the Cenobites. Like once they've shown up and they have their gift to offer, you're fucked.
Yeah.
This is what you get now. Like a genie. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't say like, actually, I don't want the 3 wishes. It's like, no, motherfucker, you got 3 wishes now. What are they? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Anyways, after the Cenobites, because that's what the Hellraiser is. It's the you got what you wished for. You know what I'm saying? Like that is what the Cenobites
absolutely.
are. Anyways, whatever. After the Cenobites praise her for choosing the Lament configuration, a life of regret with bitter and brief suffering, they vanish, and the box resumes its cube configuration. As the duo leaves the mansion, Colin asks a silent Riley if her choice was justified. Meanwhile, inside the Leviathan realm, Voight is brutally transformed into a new Cenobite. Okay, real quick.
She's weenie.
This is another film where, and you could say this about the first one, sure. I'm not saying that you can't say this about the first one. Mm-hmm. But then what? Like, at the end, Colin is bleeding to fucking death.
Yeah.
And there's a point where like she like stops the car so they can have this conversation and stuff. Get that gay man to the hospital before he gay dies. Why are you talking?
Yeah.
He is he's bleeding his gay blood out of his gay body.
And I would
And he deserves to live a gay life.
I would chastise you for saying that, but yeah, that's the only thing you know about him is that he's a gay man in this movie.
He gets no other characterization. But save this man's life.
Yeah.
Don't sit and talk and eulogize or epilogue or whatever. Do that at the hospital when this man's life is saved. So, again, it's like I wanted to give it a D-. I also kind of want to give it an F, but like a different kind of F, where it's just like, yes, like this is
An F, but with feeling.
It's watchable, but I think I do think I have to give it an F. But it's much more watchable than a lot of those. I wouldn't choose necessarily because it doesn't do anything for me, but it's not like I wasn't like, holy shit the whole time. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't know. I don't know what the point of any of it was.
I think this movie looks good. Like the needle going through the neck was super spooky. Him getting turned into a Cenobite at the end is gross to look at.
Yeah.
And you see his weenie. So I'm going to give it a D+.
Nice. So yeah, that's the Hellraiser series, baby.
So, Chris, I
Yes.
mentioned last week, I have a game.
Oh.
Bad news.
Yeah.
I don't have a game. Because I thought of it, and I researched real quick and came up with 2 questions and went, this is going to work beautifully. And then I told you about it. I blew my load way too quick. And then when I got home to research, I was like, oh no, I only got 2 of these.
Okay.
The game was, I just wanted to tell you about it, though.
Well, you can
real
still ask
quick.
me the 2 questions if you'd like.
I don't have them written down.
You forgot them?
Yeah. You'll see why.
God. Okay.
The game was going to be called Cinnabrown, Charlie Bite, P-Razor, Hellnuts, or Pinhead or Blockhead. And I was going to read you quotes that were either from Peanuts or a Hellraiser film.
Okay.
And you had to guess which was which.
Okay.
And if you won, I was going to go buy a box. I was going to go buy a Hellraiser box and give it to you.
Nice.
And if I won, you didn't get anything, I was going to make you go find something Peanuts related in this house and give it to me.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So, yeah, I'll bring the hoods in next week.
Hey, and I'll also say this. I mean, I said at one point that we would do a Hellraiser ranking. But I don't think there's any need.
It's 1 and then the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like 1 and 2, and then the rest of them I don't really want to watch ever. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's for me, it's the one with the cop, and then the rest of them I don't really want to watch ever. Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you had any interest in what we care about, Nick loves the 5th one and the first one, and I like the first 2. The 2 is not as good as 1, but it's watchable in like just like an 80s like From Beyond way.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are just like like again like Saw 2 through 10, where it's just like, these are like dollar bin like schlock, like just shit you see at Blockbuster that you're like, who the fuck has watched this? And the answer is actually nobody.
I mean, it's us, evidently.
Well, I guess so. But
I liked 3. Now that I think about it, when he's stuck in the statue, I don't mind
yeah,
that
like
one.
3 in like the Crow City of Angels way,
Yeah,
where it's like
absolutely,
it's not good, but it's like a 90s time capsule of like, to me it feels also like what Son of a Mask would feel like if it was actually made in the 90s instead of like being delayed for 10 years. If that makes sense.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It feels very much so like if I am cleaning the house and I have the cable TV on,
Yeah.
and Stars is playing Hellraiser 3, I'll put Hellraiser
I feel
3
like
on in the
Spike
background.
would play Hellraiser.
Yeah, I'd put Hellraiser 3 on in the background, but I don't got cable TV, so I'll probably never see Hellraiser 3.
Whereas Sci-Fi would play like Judgment.
Yes,
Anyways.
because that's the one they could afford.
Well, next time I'd like to watch One Battle After Another and Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Good, I got no problems with that.
Cool. All right.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween, man.
Oh, we're Wednesdays now, just so you know.
Sounds good, man.
And
I was gonna say something about be careful what you wish for, I guess. Don't go. You can't ever unfuck your cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You got desire in your heart, but sometimes don't open the lament configuration. All right.
are we gonna pick what's for next year? Or do we want to think about that in the next 12 months?
What do you feel?
I don't know. What else can we? I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, perfect.
We watched the first 2 or whatever, but there's so many of those, and they are Also notoriously kind of bad, and it is a series that, like every other movie, they're just like, let's start over again. Let's start over again.
I feel like that could be fun.
Yeah. I'd love to show you the trailer for the third one. It was made before they literally even had a script.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, type in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 trailer. Let's just watch this real quick. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 Leatherface trailer. Yeah, that's the one. You want that one for sure. Perhaps one of my favorite trailers of all time. Perhaps one of my favorite trailers of all time.
Some tales are told, then soon forgotten. But a legend is forever. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, from the producers of A Nightmare on Elm Street, the real terror begins November 3rd.
And that's cool, right?
You weren't wrong. That was the best trailer I've ever seen. That was killer. I love that so much.
The movie is not that good from what I understand.
love it. Oh my god.
That was good.
I'm excited now.
So that's why I want to watch those movies. There's also, like, so much of the series is the 2003 Platinum Dunes remake on. Because that was the one where I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
But in 2003, that happened, and that was, like, the one that was, like, good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, let's do Jason, let's do Freddy, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, because that was the one that was good, that was the one that made shitload of money and stuff, like, they did, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they did Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, then they did, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, then they did, you know, Leatherface, so they did, like, Leatherface at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, and we also did that one from Hulu. But anyways, there's a good, like, 6 to 7 we haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, if we do that for Halloween, if that's what we lock in, I think if we... I guess no reason to do 1, 2, and, like, the one we watch from Netflix again, and just watch the ones we haven't watched.
We could do what we did with Halloween, where we start with 3.
Yeah.
And then as a little treat for the last one, we watch 1 and 2.
Just, cherry on top. You know, just maybe, like, touching back on, like, Wado's first couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can skip
Sure.
the newest one. Because
Yeah.
we already watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's tough. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well.
Cool. So, that is that. And, hey, you know, Mattress Man takes on a different meaning with this one, you know? Well, the second one specifically is the lady who lives in the mattress.
Oh, yeah.
And then the guy in Judgment, doesn't he come out of the mattress when he kills the hooker?
Couldn't
Or
remember.
not Judgment, Revelations or whatever, the donkey show one.
Oh no, I think.
Doesn't he come out of the mattress?
Oh, I thought it came out of the floor, but you could be right. Yeah.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. That movie's. I'm never gonna think about that movie again.
That's that, Mattress Man. If you need more soup, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to our website, eatingsoupalone.com. And until next time,